Hi, this is Phil, Dirty Drive Away. So we're in the 2017 season now, and this is one of my first jobs of the year. And you can see we've got a concrete patio that obviously needs a clean. It's quite dirty. But the main reason the customers called me out on this one is because of the lichen infestation that we have on the stones. You can see a lot of the stones are covered in these black spots. This is what's known as lichen. It's a fungal spore. If you've watched my other video, you will see that I've done other video on black stains, which are somewhat similar, but they tend to be more sort of from trees, a lot of the sap and that from the trees. This is actual lichen. This is what a lot of people tend to suffer with. The pressure washer alone won't get it out. Some of them will come out, but you'll find a lot of them will stay. It's a fungal spore. It takes a couple of years to germinate. Basically, it eventually starts to bury itself, eat itself into the stone, and so a pressure washer alone won't get it out. There's many products on the market that claim to remove it. Some of them are very expensive. They're all predominantly the same sort of stuff. They all contain some kind of bleaching agent. If you smell it, they all smell sort of bleachy or chlorine-y. So what I'm going to do later on is I'm going to bleach this using some sodium hypochlorite, which is stronger than household bleach. It tends to work a little bit quicker, and obviously being stronger, hopefully it'll give us some nice results. So anyway, I'm going to switch this off now. I'm going to clean the patio first so I can see how bad it is. So yeah, come back to me in a little while, and hopefully this will be a nice clean patio. It's now about 12:30. It's taken me about 2.5 hours, 2:15 or whatever, something like that, to clean all of this. There's a bit around the side as well. As you can see, it's cleaned up not too bad, as I expected. You can see where the tiles look quite new here. And in fairness, the washer, it got rid of a little bit of the lichen. I dare say if you sort of really went at it and concentrated it on the area, it probably removed more of it. But obviously I'm going to bleach it anyway, so it doesn't make too much difference. You can see, obviously it's left like a staining. You can see obviously where there used to be a mat there and some plant pots there. I think a table and chairs went then in the bucket. A lot of this is normally just caused by algae staining, just the residues from the dirt. Obviously, if an area is not protected by sort of mats or tables, things like that, obviously it's open to the elements, and obviously you get a lot of acid rain and just general foot traffic that obviously causes the surface of the stones to wear a lot faster than the rest, and obviously in turn it kind of opens up the pores in the stonework and allows any staining, algae, dirt, etc. to really sort of take a grip. So I'm kind of hoping that the bleach is going to help shift some of this. A lot of it you can't really see, but it is kind of green, so a lot of it is algae staining. Obviously algae does tend to take quite a hold. So there we go. So what we're going to try and do now is we're going to bleach it. My previous video I used common household bleach on the natural stone driveway. For this one I'm actually going to use something that's quite a lot stronger. I'm going to use sodium hypochlorite. Which if you saw in my previous video, sodium hypochlorite is the main ingredient of normal household bleach. So yeah, basically all I have, tools of the trade, big builder's bucket, good stiff broom. That's actually a decking brush. Bristles are quite short, so it's good for giving it a good scrub. Sodium hypochlorite is obviously more expensive than household bleach. I bought 20 litres of sodium hypochlorite from a chemical supplier, swimming pool supplier, and to the door it's an adds under 25 quid for 20 litres, so it's a bit more expensive. But you can see from this, I don't know if it tells you actually what the concentration is. doesn't actually tell you on the label, but it is 14-15% sodium hypochlorite, which, if you saw my previous video, household bleach works out to about 4.5% sodium hypochlorite, so it's obviously quite a lot stronger. So I'm hoping it's going to work a lot better and a lot quicker. So I'm going to start off just with 10 litres in a bucket. So I have got 20 litres, but I'm hoping to be able to give this another scrub after about an hour. Okay, safety. This is stronger than bleach. Bleach, as most people are aware, it will take the colour out of your clothes. So I'm wearing gloves, old clothes. As this is stronger, the chances are, rather than it actually just bleaching your clothes, it's probably going to actually melt them, dissolve parts of it. So do wear old clothes. Been warned. That's it. Safety over. So I've got a little bit of water in the bucket, not too much. You don't want to dilute it too much. You want it to be as strong as possible. Just pour it in. Avoid as much splash as you can. You don't want to splash it everywhere. So I'm only going to mix up 10 litres of this. Because obviously you mix up too much in one go. If you don't use it all, you've wasted it. A bit boring sitting here watching me pour this out, but hey ho. Nothing like a bit of time wasting, eh? So there we go. Sodium hypo and some water. It's a very cloudy day. It's only March, so the sun's not beaming down on me. If it was the middle of summer and it was a lot hotter, you'll probably find this will dry out pretty quickly. So you may need to keep an eye on it. You don't really want it drying out on the stones. Once it starts to dry out, it starts to lose its effectiveness. So as you saw me in my previous videos, take your stiff brush, give this a swirl, and you can just get it straight on the pavement. I am doing this one-handed. As it has been cleaned, the floor is wet already. You can just chuck a load of it out on the patio and broom it in, whichever you feel comfortable. That's what I'm going to do. Obviously I can't do it one-handed. So there we go. I'm going to put this down. I'm going to leave it for a couple of hours. Come back in a couple of hours time and see what's happened. Just finished putting the first coat down. First dose, should we say. It took me about 45 minutes. Arms are killing me. Anyway, as you can see, the magic has already started to happen. A lot of the staining, the brown staining, the algae staining that was there, started to go. You can see a lot of the black spots are starting to go. So this area up here, I'll pan around to, this has been down for about 45 minutes, and then sort of up there about half hour. Around the corner is just sort of freshly done. It is quite a nice day. It's a bit cloudy, a bit overcast, but it's not hot, it's not warm. It's quite ideal. What you can do is, if it is a bit warmer and you tend to find that the slabs are drying out, just mist it just gently with a hose, just to keep it damp. And really, I mean, you could put this down, just walk away and leave it, but I like to give it a little bit of a scrub in between. If you scrub it, you should probably find it will foam up a little bit. Not too much, just enough so you can see where you've been. Any sort of problem slabs or stones that you've got, you can give it an extra shufty with the brush, a bit more of a scrub. So I'm going to leave this now for about an hour. I might just lightly sprinkle it with a hose and give it another quick scrub on some of the stones just to make sure they're really wet and nicely covered. And I'm going to come back in about an hour's time, put another dose down and see how we get on. It is quite time consuming. It's not something that you can just sort of whip out within sort of half hour or so. This is obviously concrete, so the black spots don't tend to, or the lichen don't tend to bury themselves or eat into the stone quite as much as if it was natural stone. If this was a York stone or some kind of sandstone, because they're a lot more porous, you'll find that the lichen kind of beds itself in quite a lot deeper, so you won't really see this kind of reaction that quickly, especially if it's been down for many years. Obviously lichen takes a couple of years to sort of really germinate properly and get a hold, and obviously if you can nip it in the bud as soon as you start seeing it, you've got more chance of keeping it under control. So yeah, I'm going to sprinkle it down, give it a little bit more of a scrub, leave it, and I'll be back in about an hour's time. Welcome back. It's now about 3:20 in the afternoon. This has had 2 doses of the sodium hypochlorite. Just finished it off with a quick power wash just to get rid of the remaining few lichen spores. As you can see, barely any lichen left. Massive improvement. You'll find that the bleach will continue to work, so if you have a few remaining spores, you will get them mostly in between the joint lines, especially on a patio like this, as the joint lines aren't mortared. There's nothing in between them, they're open joints to obviously allow for drainage. You'll find most of the lichen spores tend to accumulate around the outside of the joints, as it tends to remain wet there for a lot longer. But there you go. Many products on the market that claim to do this, but normally they're all some form of sodium hypochlorite. If this was a natural stone, I would expect that it may not react quite so quickly to this. You may find that it will take a little bit longer to achieve the desired result, only purely because of the nature of the stone and how porous it is. So you may find that you'll get most of it out in one go. There'll be obviously some remaining spores depending upon how long they've been down. So you may find you might have to give it another dose on a different day. Although you may find, if you've cleaned it once, you've applied the sodium hypochlorite, you'll find that, after several weeks, the amount of lichen spores will get less and less as the bleach continues to work and to kill off the remaining lichen. But overall, fantastic result. Like I say, the sodium hypochlorite came in at about £25 to my door for 20 litres. Definitely worth trying. Any comments, any questions, please feel free to leave a comment in the section below. I do aim to reply to all comments, as long as they're nice and friendly. We're based in Bromley in Kent. If you've got a lichen problem that needs a little bit of attention, you don't want to do it yourself, we can do it for you. Take a look at our website, www.dirtydrive-away.co.uk. You can scroll through and find the lichen page if you want some more information about lichen. Or feel free to drop us a text, 07585 293 902. Bye for now.